DJ, what's good, man?
The Gophers
Oh,
suffered
yikes.
the most embarrassing loss I think I've been to at TCF on game day. I was there for game day. It was very cool. And then we basically kissed any chance of a Rose Bowl berth, and I will not be in Indianapolis next Saturday for the Big Ten Championship. So we are recovering from an absolutely devastating loss to our rival.
So what was second most embarrassing loss you've been to then, DJ?
For the Gophers, so we lost to Michigan on Halloween, where we were like at the goal line with 37 seconds on the clock, and we managed to only get, and it was first down, and we managed to only get one playoff, and we didn't score, and we lost. So like that was pretty like, I thought we had it, and then like we just let it go. Actually, the Maryland lost last year, I think it was. They
It's a tough
came into
one.
our building and just blew us out. It was like probably a similar score or something like that. So I'd say that the Maryland loss is probably more embarrassing, and the Michigan loss is like really disappointing because they were at least like top 15 at the time. So it would have been a very nice win for us there.
Sydney, I want to get your opinion on the NBA, kind of cracking down on a lot of these highlights being taken down from YouTube and other places. Clearly, something's happening with the TV ratings and stuff. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this thing, on the whole
So
copyright stuff.
I'm actually not super educated on this,
Okay,
so
for sure.
I'm going to start with that. But I know that the NFL for a long time has cracked down on it. Uh,
Well, that's the
and
thing. It's like the NFL, MLB have cracked down on it for a long time, and then the NBA has been, the league that's been okay with it, and even came out. Adam Silver was like, yeah, like it's kind of like free publicity because these our league is being spread around the world and all that, and it's just I obviously have a lot of thoughts on it. So if
well,
like
I mean, but you have to look at it like this. Like the ratings, I do know ratings have been down to start the year, right?
yeah
Like pretty substantially.
yeah
So if that's the case, and I'm the NBA and I'm not getting my cut, like if we're making more money than ever before, the salary cap is exploding. We just signed a new media deal. Like that's not something we should be concerned about. But now the everything's starting to level off. We're not increasing, we're decreasing. Well, owners are pissed off. We got to change something. I
No,
mean,
but
it's just,
I understand that, and it's definitely the owners slash the TV partners slash whoever. I don't think it's the NBA that's really doing the cracking down. Obviously, I'm not there and I'm not in the conversation, so this is just
I
my.
think those are all one and the same in some capacity, though.
Is it though? Like, I feel like if you asked Adam Silver what he would prefer versus what he's kind of forced to do because of the owners and the TV partners, that might differ.
Yeah, but Con, it's just like this. Like, let's just say a trade. Like, we're in a front office, and if you ask one person in the front office what their opinion is, and then you ask everybody what the consensus best decision for the front office is, there's always going to be like varying opinions. But at the end of the day, you have to have one set course that's best for the team. This is the same thing, but just from a league-wide
No,
status.
I understand. And then the problem
So,
is taking down these highlights and doing all this copyright stuff is kind of like you're there's something wrong with your car and you keep on, putting in diesel, but like you needed gas, regular gas, and like or your engine's broken. I think the solution isn't
uh,
this is for me, this is what I think the general macro level solution is. I don't know who's not okay with this or if there's other better solutions that people are seeing. My own personal thoughts on this topic is that if there are people getting millions of views on content that you want to own, then go hire them and pay them to get the millions of reach that they're collecting that you want a piece of. I think that's the more logical way instead of just taking them down because now millions of people who consumed your content, the NBA, through those channels now are not, and they also are pissed off that you're taking them down, and also your content isn't as high quality as those sites like Free Dawkins or Zemo Pierto. If you want to be the place that people want to see all these highlights, you better be the one creating the best content for it instead of taking down the one. So why don't you go hire those people that are creating it? That's the solution here, not taking it.
or
The
wait, well,
millions of views and
Con,
impressions that they're giving up right now is not good for the NBA.
Con, I hear you, but let me just play devil's advocate here. What about if I said, why don't they pay some type of licensing fee and they can continue to do it?
You could do that, but I think they have leverage.
Instead of you
I think
having to pay them, they have to pay you.
that is
I'm not saying you're right, wrong, and different. I'm just playing devil's
that's
advocate.
another solution. You know what? Yeah, if those guys are saying, "Hey, look, we're making this much money based off this many millions of views and we can afford this much licensing," they can work to an agreement. Yes, that is one other solution. I agree, but the solution is not just splitting apart fully. I think it's seeing who has the leverage. If Free Dawkins and Zemo Pierto, those are the YouTube channels that I usually consume stuff from, are not able to afford that licensing fee, and you do not want to get, like, the solution is not losing the millions of impressions that you're getting on your content. The solution is to negotiate to a point where both parties are benefiting. And I think right now with the blocks, it's clear that there's something going on. I'm curious what the final outcome is going to be. Obviously, I want to say that these are my own opinions. I don't know who's making the calls anywhere, and I don't know the context. So anyway, that was something I was really passionate about today. Because it affected me. Like, it's fine that I need to not do the NBA stuff. Like, it's cool not showing highlights, but the other highlight channels being down is what's curious to me. Anyway, DJ, do you have any thoughts on these, or do you want to get to the Portland Trailblazers?
Honestly, I didn't even know it was really going on until earlier today on Twitter. I started to see some buzz about it. And yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked for a long time. As you said, the NBA was the league that was letting other people use highlights and extending their reach. So, I mean, I think it's just, similar to almost a situation where, people are saying, like, why don't we trim the league schedule? And, there's reasons that they don't do that behind the scenes monetarily. And I mean, I'm sure that it's money that's driving them to do this now. So we'll have to see if things change moving forward.
Mhm.
But it's definitely kind of curious. It seems like quite a pivot off of where they were before.
See, my thing is, if the money is driving them, this is also the wrong decision. That's my whole thing. If it was the money was being saved in this situation, I would understand. But personally, I don't think that's the case. Anyway, let's move on. Portland Trailblazers mobs trade deadline today. I think this team has a lot of stuff to get done. I do want to just go right into the topic of, is CJ McCollum really as good as Sydney thinks he is? Sydney.
No.
No, I feel like he's just, I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on his performance so far these past 2 seasons.
I've actually been pleasantly impressed with him this year. I don't think he's as good as I think he gets a lot. I don't know. I think he's a good player. I think he's very talented offensively. I think he's just small. So for that reason, he's not as good as I say he is.
I think I framed
He
that
can't
question.
play defense.
I framed that question poorly because I think the problem, and I was one of those people against this because I think Dame and CJ can be successful together if they have the proper pieces around them. But right now,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think the direction of this team could be a lot more beneficial to both CJ and Dame if CJ went to a team that needed more shot creation and more of a guard for some sort of like wing to play next to Damian Lillard, or a defensive type guard at least. I think that CJ
Are you
McCollum is.
asking for Patrick Beverly?
No, I'm not. That's not at all what I'm asking for. Because CJ's shot creation is super important. So, like, you don't want to lose all of that. But I think if you lost some of it for some size, defense, and some wing ability, I think that might be the right move for the Blazers to take, because Lillard is amazing. And I think both can be advantageous in a move if CJ goes to the proper place.
Let
Obviously,
me ask you, Kaan. Kaan and or DJ. How much better is Bradley Beal than CJ McCollum?
DJ, let's go to you.
I would rather take Bradley Beal over CJ McCollum if I
Yeah,
was
but how
going straight up.
much? How much better?
I think we're gonna find the answer to that one out.
Um, I mean, between the two of them, I'd rather have Bradley Beal. I think that he does pretty much. I don't think there's anything that CJ can do that Brad.
Oh, Bradley Beal
right?
is the better player, but
Yeah.
how much better? Like, are we
Oh,
talking
man.
like you need two CJ McCollums? You need a CJ McCollum and another half CJ McCollum. You need CJ McCollum and like Joe Ingles, who like of old, who could play defense.
Joey
I'm
Ingles
not
is
saying
one.
I'm not saying even from like a trade perspective, just like from a real life comparison. Like if I'm building a team, like what do I need
Sure.
if I'm the Trailblazers to like be at that level? Because I honestly think you need like a Bradley Beal or somebody like that to construct a team.
And
Like
why?
I think
Sorry, I cut you
Yeah.
off, Sydney. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just
The why in that for CJ McCollum versus Beal, I think Beal would be a better fit. I genuinely think it has a lot to do with size. One, two, more consistency in heavier output. Right. I think Bradley Beal just gives you more on a more consistent basis than CJ McCollum. Like CJ can disappear for a little bit. He can turn on in the playoffs, but he can also, disappear for a game. I think Bradley Beal is kind of always there. Especially recently, he hasn't been getting injured as much. So anyway, let's stick to this roster because I think we're going to talk about CJ versus Bradley a little bit later.
I didn't have that one.
Lillard, 29.8 this year, 31.6 next year. Did sign that extension for 3 more years. It's going to be 49 or maybe 50 towards the end of that, depending on how the cap changes. CJ, 27.5 this year, 29.3 next year. And in the same contract tiers, like we like to split it up, Hassan Whiteside expiring this year for 27 million. Man, Hassan Whiteside was a risk that I don't think they should have taken, and clearly it's not working out that great for them. DJ, what do you think about Hassan Whiteside?
I think he's putting up some nice accounting stats in a couple of games, but I mean, it was always the plan to try to tide it over until, Nurkic could come back, which I was doing some research before, and he's just straight up not coming back, right? Like he tweeted that and everything that wasn't fake.
I think that's like, if not, it's definitely extended way longer than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and so I mean, I felt like it was almost more asset management to get Hassan Whiteside back, where you've got this $27 million expiring trade or expiring contract that you could use in a trade. Excuse me. So really, I think that it's kind of just temporary that he's on there, and I would not be surprised if he gets moved, quickly in December, January, once most of the contracts in the real world start becoming tradable.
So I don't understand why they had to move off of Harkless in that trade and give up a first round. Oh no, that was the Heat. But I don't know, like what did the Blazers get back in that Harkless trade? I don't understand why that was something that happened. Did they get that first back? Either way, Harkless would be exactly the type of person that I would want on this team. Maybe a little bit more ball handling, but anyway, Kent Bazemore, Yusuf Nurkic, as we discussed, Kent on a 19.2 expiring deal, Nurkic on a 13.2 this year, 14.1 next year, and a non-guaranteed third year on top of that. 4 million of that is guaranteed, actually. Sydney, any thoughts on these guys? Maybe on Hassan too, because we didn't get your opinions there.
Hassan, he's just, I don't know. I thought he was going to be better. I don't know if he stopped taking his crazy pills or what, but he just hasn't been very. Yeah, Bazemore is actually, I mean, he hasn't done anything this year, really. I don't, has he even been playing this year?
Let me look at that. That's a good
I
call
don't
out.
think.
I don't think. I mean, I've seen like 2 Blazers games recently, but it just doesn't seem like I remember Bazemore. If he
I
was in the
saw
game,
him.
he wasn't effective. I'll tell you that.
I saw him play at the beginning of the year, but I think they've changed his role a lot since Carmelo came on, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's been getting minutes. I can't remember. I looked at it earlier, and then I had really short-term memory.
No, he's playing 16 minutes, 20 minutes, 23
Yeah.
minutes. So he's getting tick.
Yeah, but that's since Carmelo's come. So I think his role has changed a little bit in terms of volume, shooting volume, since Carmelo's come on, which is kind of like an
Definitely.
interesting thing to observe.
I don't think he's
Um,
taken more than 5 shots since Melo's come, and his last 5 games points averages are 4-3, 4-5, 2. So yeah, he was in the game, but very quiet. Um,
Yeah, I mean, because what do you need Carmelo if he's playing the way he is and Kim Bazemore for? I guess is the point I'm making.
exactly. Kent Bazemore was just like, oh, we need a wing type guy, and that's the thing. You don't really have that solution, and that's the solution that I'm trying to fix. Rodney Hood playing really efficiently
I
this
was
year.
about to say.
He is having a great year, actually, and that's the type of play that's the exact Rodney Hood that the Blazers wanted when they were going out and getting him. He's 12 points, 3.5 boards, an assist and a half, but he's shooting 50% from the 3-point line, 51% from the 3-point line, over 53% total. So he's just doing what he needs to do. And it's not like I need to. He's just a really good piece if I were to go after like a bigger fish, because he is that next guy after the more expensive contracts at 5.7 mil next year. That's a player option for 6 million, so it'll be interesting in a more tight free agency market, as in there's not a lot of people out there, so he might want to re-up, maybe get a bigger number. That'll be interesting to see. Zach Collins has been hurt for a while. He's going to be restricted after next year, so the Blazers still have time to see what he's going to provide. Left shoulder dislocation. He plans on playing this season, but he's going to be out at least like 3-4 months, so he won't be back for a while. I don't think that's going to be enough time for him to come back. DJ, any thoughts on Scal, Rodney Hood, or Zach Collins? I didn't even talk about Scal, but if you have thoughts on Scal, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's been up and down. I've seen him have a couple of pretty nice games, and then other ones where he's not that effective. I mean, he's kind of hovering right around, I think it's like 20 minutes a game for them. But they sure as heck need him, especially with Zach Collins being out. So, I'd hope to see him kind of step up and be a little bit more consistent for him, and try to find some more minutes kind of in the front court right now for the Trailblazers, because I think that they're doing obviously like a lot of Carmelo at the 4 now, and then Rodney Hood's kind of sliding up, being a 3, Bazemore in there. So we'll have to see, but.
Do you think he's made big optimistic strides? Sorry to cut you off.
That's why I don't think he really has necessarily. Like he's had a few good games, but I would like to see Scal become like a consistent 10-10 type guy, or stretch it up to like 15 points a game and helping him out a little bit more.
See, I think that it's nice to at least see him get the 17 minutes per game he's getting. Also, the flashes that we're seeing are just coming a little late. I feel like we just haven't even had the chance to see him. I am more impressed with Scal this year. I mean, if we look at his per 36 numbers, he is averaging 13.6, 11 boards, 2.5 assists, shooting 57% from the floor, and he is taking some jumpers. So I think he has made a lot of strides, and as he gets his game, develops his game, hopefully he can play that 30 minutes and then keep this level of pace going in terms of, his stats, because it's not empty. I don't think it's empty. I think he's been honestly a blessing in this situation, because Zach Collins is hurt. Obviously, Nurkic is gone. Whiteside isn't really that effective. So I like what I've seen from Scal so far. In Sydney, next guy on the list, Anthony Simons and Nazir Little, the young guns. Simons was rookie last year, so he's in his second year. Nazir, rookie year this year, both at around 2.1 million. Sid, any thoughts on these two guys?
I'll take Simons. Yeah, he's played a lot better this year. I mean, I think part of it was he was just, age-wise he wasn't young, but experience-wise he was young. And so I think he's really just like growing into this level of game. We have to remember he never played college. So yeah, I think it took an adjustment period, but he's really starting to come out into his own. I think he obviously still has a long way to go, but I think once again, like big optimistic strides this year for him, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely not shy. That's for sure. He takes up a lot of shots, but that's kind of what he's there to do, and he does play more within the flow than some other young guys. Like, for example, Kobe White is super run and gun. I think Simons is a little bit more in control. He has been getting consistent minutes. And then DJ, any thoughts on, either Hazonia, Tolliver, Pau Gasol, Gary Trent? Is Gasol like getting?
He is basically staying in Portland to rehab and like looking into almost like being a coach with them for a while, because maybe I think that they wanted to like cut him to keep him off the books, not taking up a roster spot, but then keep him around to rehab and like look for a new role, and then maybe if he can get healthy enough, sign him. I think is kind of how it's going with him. But I mean, not a ton of production down there. Obviously, I think the running joke was that Zonia was so bad that they had to bring in Carmelo to kind of fill that void of a bigger forward. And then, Anthony Tolliver at this point, he's 34. Like he's, not really going to be a guy that I think you can rely on for consistent rotation minutes.
And yeah, let's get to close this segment out. Melo, he's not on my cap sheet because I didn't update that contract in there yet. But 17.7 points, 6 boards, 2.2 assists, and shooting well, 37% from three, 4.5 attempts a game. He's been an energy plug for them, 30 minutes a game off the bat starting. I feel like he might have even rejected some other offers because he wasn't starting, and then Portland came with this starting role for him, and then he jumped on it. I don't know if that's true or not. But Sydney, what have you been feeling about this Melo mini resurgence here?
Melo is old. Let's start with that. Melo's not going to be able to continue to play 30. He hasn't played in a year and a half. He's going to be able to play 30 minutes for another couple weeks. He's not going to be able to do that for the rest of the season. So let's start there. I mean, no, it's good to see. I don't want to compare him and Dwight Howard because they're very different situations, but I think it's good to see. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of what Vince Carter paved the way for. You have to adapt your game. Melo is not the volume scorer, top 5 scorer in the league. For those people who thought he was, and so that's where he's at right now. I think he's doing exactly what he's there to do, and it's always good to see legends like that continue to play at a high level. So I wish him nothing but the best.
I like that Melo to Dwight comparison, not in terms of game, but in terms of situation. I think is a little different because Dwight was really on his last legs, and I think Melo still was holding on to a starting role type thing. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's the truth.
No, when he was in Houston. What about when he was in Houston?
I don't know. It didn't work out in Houston when he was on the bench. Like he wasn't happy there. He's playing again, and now he's happy. And I don't know.
It didn't work out. He wasn't playing even on the bench. He was terrible.
Well, exactly. So I just think.
No, I mean he wasn't good enough. He had to do some. He had to buy a couple mirrors.
I fully understand, and I was also curious about why the Lakers and LeBron and them didn't pull the hey, we'll give you a non-guaranteed minimum deal, just prove yourself like Dwight they did to Dwight. Like Melo kind of wasn't that situation, but I feel like he didn't want to do that. I feel like he wanted that guarantee, which was interesting to me. Anyway, let's get to the trade negotiation portion of this. I do have quite a bit, so we can keep the post-trade analysis shorter and just do a decent amount of negotiations if that's cool with you guys. Sydney, what conference did you have?
Eastern Conference.
And DJ?
Western Conference.
Western Conference. So let me get 30 minutes on the board, and I'll start right now. Alrighty. Let me go to the. Who do I want to go to? Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Is Anthony Simons and a top 5 protected first for Jaylen Brown something you'd be interested in?
No.
Okay, just curious because I won't go there, but would another first bring us close?
2 more would.
But would one more bring us first? Because I'm not going to go one more even. I'm just curious.
Well, if you're not going to go one more, then no. But 2 more would.
All right, well, yeah. Hornets, are you there?
Yes.
Whiteside for Marvin Williams and Kid Gilchrist?
That's a good question. No.
No? Is that a hard no? Is there any wiggle room there?
I mean, why are we going to take on that contract for? Because both Marvin Williams and Kid Gilchrist are 1-year deals.
So
Whiteside.
is Whiteside.
Oh, that's right. I keep thinking he's 2 years. No. It just doesn't add that much to us. I mean, not that Kid Gilchrist is even existing this year, but.
All right.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. Let me go out west for a quick discussion, although I have a decent amount of East teams. Minnesota, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Hassan Whiteside and a first-round pick, top 10 protected for Gorgie Dang and Robert Covington?
We would not want to move Covington in any sort of salary clearing maneuver. The first-round pick makes it interesting, but Covington's very important to what we do.
What if we included Kent Bazemore?
I mean, Kent Bazemore, I don't think can give us quite what Covington is, um, or what Covington is giving us. So it's still not something we're super intrigued by. We'd really like to hold on to Covington.
Okay. That is
However,
yes. Hello.
can we intrigue you with an offer that includes Jeff Teague, Jake Layman coming back, Jarrett Culver,
Mm-hmm.
and then you send us C.J. McCollum and Gary Trent Jr. Shout out Minnesota's own Gary
Oh
Trent.
man. So Jeff Teague, Jared Culver, Jake Layman. See, although I do like that in theory a little bit, it's just like the ends of it. It doesn't align fully. I think Jared Culver, if it was like 3-4 years from now, Jared Culver, I think this would be a much more interesting conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
the current version of Jared Culver doesn't make us really want to do that just because we do want to contend with Lillard in his prime. So yeah, pushing that back doesn't make a lot of sense
What
for
if
us.
it was a Kogi instead of Culver?
So Jeff Teague, Okogie,
And then
and Jake
Layman.
Layman for CJ McCollum and Gary Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's a very interesting conversation. Um, I'm I'm gonna come back to this one because I don't love it, but I do like the idea of shaking something up, and I do think Okogie has potential. Yeah, let's keep this one on hold for a second because I'm very interested. Portland. I mean, Pelicans.
I'm here. No,
Pelicans.
Yes, Pelicans are here.
So Anthony Simons, Rodney Hood, 2020 unprotected first, and a 22 top 5 protected first for Brandon Ingram.
Oh my. So it was Anthony Simons, Hood. Was there a third player before we talked
No,
about picks?
no, Simons and
So it's
Rodney Hood.
those two. And then what were the picks again?
This year's unprotected,
Mm-hmm.
and then top 5 protected, 2022.
That's tough. I will share that with the Pelicans. Before I learned that Nurkic was out for the year, I was mulling around a Zion Williamson offer that I was going to send you to try to pry away Damian Lillard and Nurkic. Oh, Ingram's been, I mean, our best player this year. I think for now we have to decline and,
All right.
and keep it rolling with him with how he's been playing.
He had to come through with a Godfather offer for Ingram. I
Mhm.
think that's the type of deal that might, sway things a little bit for the current version of the Blazers. Let's go back east. Bradley Beal, or Washington, sorry. Are you there?
Yeah.
Bradley Beal for McCollum and Anthony Simons.
Need more.
Oh my god. Okay.
What
What
about
if
Dame and Anthony Simons? for Bradley Beal?
Dame is untouchable right now. So
Okay, I was just asking.
yeah.
You could have John Wall.
What if it was CJ McCollum, Anthony Simons, and another one of our guys, maybe a Scal? I think
Yeah.
we would be willing to include.
What about a first?
So CJ Simons and a top 5 protected first.
Is it y'all's first?
It's our first.
I think we're getting closer.
I think that's a lot from us though, so I'm not really trying to include a lot anymore. Really, that's kind of as far as I'll go.
No, I think we're close. I don't think we're way off. I don't know. I need more
All right.
on this one.
All right, let's get you mulling a little bit and let's go back out west for I'm going to call Minnesota one more time just to see if I
Yeah,
know
sure.
I think you're going to say no, but I just want to make sure. Kent Bazemore in a first for Covington and Bonley.
I will say no.
All right, for sure. Um, any other West DJ? Give me a deal from your end. I don't know if I have too many West deals.
Yeah, sure. I have a couple. So this one is coming from the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes.
Hello. We think that you could use some help on the wing,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is a bit of a complicated deal. I'll let you know. In this deal, we're getting back 2 million more than you,
Okay.
so you save a little bit on the tax bill. But it's Andre Iguodala, Solomon Hill, Kyle Anderson, and Jay Crowder to you
Mm-hmm.
for Whiteside, Bazemore, Little, and then we would want your 2021st, and we're thinking for project or protections, lottery, top four, and then unprotected. Just the one pick, obviously.
Yeah. So Iggy, Solomon Hill, Anderson, and Crowder for
Hmm.
Whiteside, Bazemore, Nazir Little, and a
Hmm.
first round lottery protected pick. That's 2020. So
Yep, 2020.
yes, this upcoming year. Wow. That's a very interesting deal. I don't love that we're giving up a first and Nazir Little to get back, Kyle Anderson and Crowder and Iggy. I feel like there is a little bit of leeway with Iggy, but if he had the choice of what team he wanted to go to, that might not necessarily be us in the buyout market. So being the team that does scoop him up for a late playoff run is appealing. And getting off Whiteside, I'm kind of okay with attaching a first rounder if I'm getting some sort of like high number value for Whiteside, which is Iggy in this scenario. So like Whiteside and a first for Iggy is like not that far off. Bazemore isn't doing too much, so then Little and Bazemore for Solomon Hill, Anderson, and Crowder. I'm not in love with Solomon Hill, but he has been playing a little bit. At least a couple games I saw, he wasn't too bad. So I think he can maybe get end of the bench minutes. Anderson and Crowder is really interesting. I think Crowder's not amazing, but in the right system, he can give you what you need. Anderson's more interesting, and as I go through this deal, it really is dependent on how high I am on Nazir Little and how good he can become. Oh man, I'm I have this one written down. We're gonna leave this to a final call for me just because this affects a lot of other discussions if all these players are gone.
Hmm.
So I definitely have this one written down and it's very interesting. Um, all right, let me go to OKC.
Yep, we're here.
Hassan Whiteside and a lottery protected first for Gallinari and Nerlens Noel.
Oh man, we had very similar thought processes on this one. So again, you said it was Whiteside and Lotto protected first
Yes,
for Gallo, right?
yes,
Oh, and then Nerlens as
and
well.
Nerlens, yes.
Um, so what I'm about to say isn't the most realistic because, fans would maybe be upset. However, I'm gonna counter and say, what if it was Steven Adams and Gallinari, and then you were sending over Whiteside, Bazemore, Anthony Simons, and then the pick?
Wow. Gallinari and Adams for Whiteside, Simons, the pick, and who?
Oh,
And
Bazemore to,
Bazemore
to
to
make
make the
the
money
money
work.
work. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. It's right about even. I think it's us getting a little bit more. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
48 million and change.
That's super interesting. Wow. I just really don't want to give up on Simons, but
Hmm.
I think ah that's tough. Um that one I'm very close. Like I think that one's the closest I'm going to so that's like on the top of the potential deals right now that
Hmm.
we have on hold. But also is Nerlens in that deal at all? No, Adams is, right?
We took Nerlens out and put Adams in instead.
Okay. That's fine, I guess. But you also added Simons and the first and Bazemore. Can we add Nerlens back into that deal?
So you'd want Adams and Nerlens?
Yeah.
Um, we could. That leaves us a little thin up top, though.
What
So
about
could
a
you?
wing?
Oh, go ahead.
What about like Diallo?
Um, hmm. Us just sending back Diallo, so then it'd be a 3-for-3 trade.
Yeah.
Um, Let me take a quick look at our wings, at who I would most want to toss back. And then while I'm looking, the last deal I had written down so that you can just go ahead and say no. The Warriors would like to offer you D'Angelo Russell for Damian Lillard, straight up.
Yeah, no.
All right. Let me just take a look here. We would rather offer Nader than Diallo.
um I think if it was Diallo, we'd do it.
So it would be Adams, Gallinari, Diallo for Whiteside, Bazemore, Simons, and
And the
then
lottery protected first, right? Is what we said. What did we say? Top 10
that
protected?
is, yeah,
Yeah.
that is what we said was
Okay.
Lotto. If you want to talk yourself down, you could.
I'm not trying to
All
talk
right.
myself down.
So here's what I'll offer back. Adams, Gallo, and then I'll throw in Diallo, but will you take that pick and make it unprotected?
I will not make it unprotected.
Top four protected.
Top 10 protected.
Hmm, interesting. Top seven protected.
Top 8.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, let's see
So
7. Let's see 7.
so could we do top seven, top four, and then unprotected? You should have sent it to us before then.
Yeah.
Just because I'm
Yeah.
always bothered by those picks
I
that
I know
become.
you are, and I probably in regular discussions weasel out
Wait,
that 2 seconds in there, but all right. I think I think that I think I do want to do that.
Okay, it's there for you if you want to take a second. So
Okay. All right.
so I'm
Sydney,
good on that.
Sydney,
Whenever you are.
When you do officially punch it in, though, could you just announce it so I can make all the appropriate updates of who's gone?
yeah, let's just I think I'm just going to rank the trades and then pull all of them like in consecutive order when there's like 5 minutes left. Just so I get
It'd
all
be
the
a shame
conversation.
if some things came off the table as a result of that.
Exactly. Exactly. So you got that written down, right, DJ?
Yeah, yes, I do.
All right, perfect. Sydney, are we
Yeah.
there? Like, where are we with the Beal deal?
Uh, I'm really on the fence about this, to be honest with you. I like on one end of me, this is just probably sharing a little too much, but one side of me thinks it would be good to change something up, but I think our guys have really bought into kind of what we're doing right now. Like if you watch the Wizards play right now, they play hard, like really hard, and Bradley Beal is at the center of that. Not to say that CJ and Anthony Simons won't be, um, but that's a, I think Bradley Beal is probably the centerpiece, and if we're gonna give him up, I think it needs to be for something bigger. Not to say CJ is not, but he's not.
No, I don't think
Uh,
CJ is. I mean, I agree with that logic, and maybe we should talk about this towards the end. But like, you're getting Simons and protected first on top of CJ McCollum, and then you can also flip CJ McCollum again. So whatever you get for CJ McCollum plus Simons and the first is kind of the package that you're getting for Beal. Is kind of how I would think about it, but that's obviously it's your team, your
no,
decisions.
no, I hear you, but I can also at the same time only worry about what I have right now. Because I mean, the reality is y'all's pick is not going to be that great this year. I mean, like
It
it'll
could
be,
though. It could.
it could be, but I would suspect that y'all are going to start playing a little bit better.
hmm
I
So
mean,
so are we not
I think
there?
that's pretty reasonable. I don't think so. I'm not saying like you can come back, but I don't think we're quite there.
For sure. Sixers, are you there?
Scalabay, what's it?
Sorry.
Sixers are here.
Rodney Hood and Anthony Simons for Josh Richardson.
Wait, say that again.
Rodney Hood and Anthony Simons for Josh Richardson.
Ooh, interesting. I really like that actually. Kaan, that may be one of the better deals you've done. Huh. Um, you know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh man, yeah, I think.
Oh, you freaking alligator
No,
arms,
no, no, no,
man.
no, no. I said I
Oh
think I'm
no!
gonna.
Oh,
No, I
come
think
on,
I'm gonna do
man.
it. I said I'm gonna. I literally was gonna say I think I'm gonna do it because I really like this deal. The only hesitation that I threw in
Oh
there
my
was because of
god!
the OKC deal that was standing. But I do think that
I'm
this.
ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, let's pull the trigger on this one.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. And the reason is Josh Richardson is that exact type of guy that can blow up to what the Blazers need. And
Agreed.
I didn't feel that with the other deals, DJ. I know we had like two really solid deals in the works. It's just like
Hmm.
the players coming back didn't have the potential to be difference makers. I think Richardson has a potential to be a difference maker. And that's why I went ahead and pulled this deal. I was more comfortable with it. Um, Suns, are you there?
Yes, the Suns are here.
Kent Bazemore and a top 5 protected first for Kelly Oubre.
Oh, for Oubre, let's use Bazemore and a top five protected
Yeah.
first. Hmm. At first blush, that is not something that I want to do. I really like what Kelly's been doing for us so far. What has he got? Kelly's got 2 years left, right? This and next
Yeah.
year. Um, this is not one I was prepared for. I'm clicking furiously to try to get more Suns information up. I think we're gonna pass on this one.
You're gonna.
I don't wanna rock the boat on how well we've been doing by getting rid of Kelly right now.
All right, for sure.
Hey, this is the Raptors calling.
Yes, Raptors. How are you?
Good. Kyle Lowry and 2 firsts for Dame. Unprotected.
It's not like I think the values may be there, but it's just not the direction I want to go.
That's fine. I had to take the shot.
Yeah, no, it's I respect it. New York, are you there?
Yes.
Hassan Whiteside and a lottery protected first for Marcus Morris and Taj Gibson.
Say that again.
Hassan Whiteside and a lottery protected first rounder for Marcus Morris and Taj Gibson.
Ooh. It would have to be lower than that. It would need to be a top 5 protected.
Can we make it a top 8 protected?
No, top 5.
Top 7 protected?
No, top 5.
So Whiteside and the top 5 protected first for Marcus Morris and Taj Gibson. Are you good with that?
Oh, well, before we pull the trigger on me, how would you feel if we added Noah Kina? Oh, Rodney Hood is gone. Gosh dang it. Oh, oh, I had the best. Oh, I wanted Scal and Rodney Hood, but I can't have them now. Gosh dang it, Kaan. Hassan Whiteside. Actually, I'm not gonna take. We're terrible.
You're getting a first. An expiring deal for Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, but here's I don't think it's time to hit the panic button if you're New York yet.
No, I don't think there's a panic button though. Like, I feel like these
No,
two players are
but
veterans.
That puts a pretty big hole. That puts a pretty big hole in our roster.
What? Getting rid of 2 4s when you have like 7?
Yeah.
All right, but how far are we off on this deal?
I don't hate it. It's a great question, Kaan. You got me really perplexed.
We got 9 minutes left, so we still got some time.
Can we add a second to that?
I'm out on a lot of seconds. Let me tell you, top 55 protected 20 second. 21 second is out, 23 second out. But I can give you like the rest of that 55 protected second.
I actually don't. I don't think you can do that. Can you do that?
Do you want my 2021 second then? I think I can, but if you like, we could just make it the 2020.
Your 2021 second.
Sorry,
is fine.
2022. I don't have my 2021 second.
Jeez, Kaan. Can we get that in Scal or just?
No, Scal is.
Can we get Scal? What if we add Scal? Does the money work there?
The money works, but like I don't really want like to give up the top 5 protected
I really
first.
want.
Yeah, so
I really want Scal though.
So I'll throw in I think the 2020 second works, dude. The rest of the protection, like you'll get it if it's 31 to 55.
Oh! I thought you were saying the opposite. I was
No,
like,
no, no,
why would I
no,
want that?
no.
I was like, God, that's terrible. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, I guess.
All right, I am.
This is 2020, correct?
Yes, 2020. So
Yeah, I'll settle for that.
all right,
That's assuming that the Knicks are going to draft well, which is a big if.
all right.
But
Let's
maybe.
pull the trigger on that one. I am pumped right now for this trade deadline. And I honestly think these are realistic trades. Like I just want the Blazers to be looking at these types of deals. Honestly, I didn't talk
Why do you
about.
call Neil Olshey? Yeah.
I didn't talk about this. Like Hassan Whiteside's gone. Anthony Simons is gone. I'm not really trying to get rid of CJ anymore. If are there other CJ McCollum deals that you guys want to call me with? Because I think that
Yeah.
Wolves are still here.
yes. Hello.
Wolves deal still standing, but Sid, what's your call on CJ?
This is the Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to start with a non-CJ. I'm going to start with Dame, and we'll go from there.
Let's just not do Dame.
Oladipo
Let's.
and whoa. Just hold on. Oladipo, Sabonis, and a first protected in some form for Dame.
I just can't risk Oladipo without seeing him, and I understand that if we see him and he's really good, then that value might not even be there. So like, I understand that game, but it's not a game I want to play. So, and I'm just good with Dame. Yeah.
What about if we were to change that a little bit, but CJ instead of Dame?
So what was the coming from your end? Sorry.
Let's say Oladipo and a first for CJ.
Oladipo and a first for CJ McCollum.
Protected first.
What?
Lottery protected first.
What are the protections?
Let's say lottery protected first for CJ.
Lottery protected first for CJ. Wow, that's left field. Fuck. How much time do we have? 5:45. Damn it. So I think Oladipo's gonna be back soon. I'm down. I'm down to do it.
I was wrong.
I'm down. I'm down to do it.
Wait. Hold on. I can't pull the trigger on that unless you want it because of the Milwaukee deal.
Oh, the first?
Yeah.
Is there any way we can make that first work? Like, what are your first? What do you have?
It's until 2026.
Pacers first round draft pick to Milwaukee, protected for selections 1 to 14. So can we make that 2 years after it conveys, lottery protected?
No, it's literally it goes to Milwaukee until it
No.
conveys until 2025.
No.
Sure.
It's if Milwaukee doesn't get it this year, then they get it next year. So if the Pacers make the playoffs, Milwaukee gets the pick, then I get the pick in 2023. No, 2022, sorry, 2022. If they get it in 2021, then I get it in 2023. That's how this deal would structure. So I would just get it 2 years after you guys don't make the playoffs, or 2 years after you guys make the playoffs, essentially, is the thing that we're doing.
Yeah, but so I'm looking at Real GM right now, so this could be incorrect.
It has it in front of me. I have it in front of me. The same thing. We're reading the same thing. I get it 2 years after you guys make the playoffs is what the deal is.
Sydney, I think you could word it as they get the pick 2 years after, and if the pick is not conveyed by 2024, since you can't, with whatever the 7 years rule, if it hasn't conveyed by 2024, you could switch it to like seconds. So you could do it there where you say you're getting it in 2 years. But because if that first rounder hasn't gone from Indiana to Milwaukee by 2024 or by 2025, it'd be illegal. It would be an illegal trade. So you just have to say you get a first 2 years after that thing conveys, or you get a couple of seconds in like 2024, 2025.
Regardless, you can give up a first 2 years after you give it to Milwaukee. Are you down to do that?
Give me a second to think on that. I was coming out swinging, but now
3 minutes 20 seconds left, so please mull over it.
Give me a
quickly.
minute.
I know. I'm just going to DJ if DJ has anything.
Okay.
Well, obviously the Wolves are still interested in CJ and Gary Trent Jr. for Teague, Culver, and Layman. Because right now you have
We
Dame
already,
and
yeah, but we
Josh
we
Richardson, right?
we already knocked that one down. I'm pretty sure because of the reasoning that I said. Like CJ, like Jared Culver isn't really like what I want or
But
whatever.
I thought maybe it had changed since you had gotten Josh Richardson, who can slide into that starting two
No,
role.
now I'm pretty pumped that I have Josh Richardson and Marcus Morris next to CJ and
hmm
Dame.
Uh, and then you did send out Whiteside, correct?
I did, yes.
But you still have Bazemore.
I do have Bazemore, yes.
OKC's still on the phone. What
OKC.
if it was Bazemore, Nasir Little, and the first round pick for Gallo and Diallo?
Bazemore, Nazir Little, and a first round pick. So this would be
hmm
2022 first round pick because I gave up my lottery protected, or no, top five protected first round this year, if you remember. So that would
To
be
which deal again?
in the Whiteside and the first for Marcus Morris and Taj deal.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So
Okay.
I would give you my 2022. What was the protections pick?
Top seven, top four, unprotected.
Top seven, top four. Steven Adams and Gallinari for Nazir Little, Kent Bazemore,
Oh,
and
well, now it would just be Gallo and Diallo for Bays, Nasir, and the pick since you don't have
mm,
Whiteside.
yes, Bazemore and the pick for Gallo. Bazemore, Nazir, and the pick for Gallo
And Diallo.
and Diallo. No Steven Adams. Okay, that's kind of what I was stuck on there. I don't want to give up on Nazir Little now. I think I want to keep Nazir Little and see how, because I think that depth is done. I don't have Whiteside. Like, who's my big? That's my thing. If it was Adams, what if it was Adams instead of Gallo?
Instead of Gallo, let me just make sure that the math would work on that one. Oh, it should. It's only like a $3 million difference. You'd be taking on a good amount of cash.
How much?
It's so oh man,
We have
this
a
is
minute
so
left.
ridiculously close.
DJ Sydney, can you work out the math? DJ Sydney, what are you feeling?
No, I can't do it.
You can't do it. What deal did you not even? What deal were we just talking about? I literally forgot what we were talking
Indiana.
The
about. Oh
Oladipo
fuck!
deal.
Oladipo on a first for CJ.
Yeah. Let's keep this a little more PG.
Why? We're good.
PG-13, only one F-bomb.
Um, damn.
Let's see, I'm
Okay.
good with damn, but the F bomb is too much for me.
All right. My bad, Sydney. Do you have anyone else like something less than a first rounder but more than nothing? Pacers.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it.
I got cold feet. I got cold feet.
You don't want to do Oladipo for CJ McCollum straight up.
Uh, no.
DJ, does our money work?
Well, let's go to overtime to give this an extra shot here.
Oh.
'Cause I think that we're just
That's
gonna go. Can we-
sacrilegious. No,
Oh.
no,
It's a great deadline. We can't go to overtime. Give the people what they
no.
want.
No overtime.
Because
That's
you could
the
do
nature of the deadline. No
because you could do
overtime.
Gallo and Bay
No
or Gallo for
overtime.
Bays and Nasir and the pick. You could do Steven Adams for Bays and Nasir Little. I didn't
want to
quite
do
work.
that. So one, I would do that.
No overtime.
I would do that. I think we can respect the overtime today, but
No respect for the overtime.
no. Sorry. Respect the deadline. Sorry, we'll respect the deadline today. This was an amazing trade. I think this might be my favorite trade deadline that I've done personally from my end, and I also
Oh,
don't
you
think.
say that every time you have a good deadline.
No, not at all. I think that these deals weren't that crazy either for the other team. Like sometimes I feel like someone's off on the
Messes up.
valuing. Like personally, I just think this is good for both teams. Anyway, let's get to the deals. I would have done that, DJ, though.
So Adams for Bays Little in the pick. Would you have done that? That
Adams
works
and Diallo.
money-wise.
Adams and Diallo. I would have done it.
Because once I do Diallo, I think it said it didn't work money wise, which is the
Oh.
only reason why we couldn't. Because I was told my trade machine cut $440,000.
Oh no.
Although I guess fudge, there was trade exceptions to be used, so we could have just used.
I could have
trades.
also just tossed in. I mean, not tossed in, but like included Gary Trent or someone not as significant to make the money work. But yeah, I would have done that. I think Adams on this team, but it's fine. I'm good with Taj and Scal and Nurkic. I don't know if he's gonna come back, but I think you can do with Taj and Scal in that spot and maybe go to the buyout market for another center. I think center is the most you can get the most value off a replacement level center than you would for any other position. So I'm not too worried, but Adams would have been fire. The deals that did happen were both with Sydney, interestingly enough. Philadelphia
After
76ers.
you were ready to pull the trigger with me, yeah,
I
everyone was
know,
on one
I
today.
know. Those deals that didn't happen, they just didn't move the needle as hard as these other ones did, I felt like. I just was super happy with the other players that I was getting. With you, it was like, it's the direction I want to go, but not fully the execution I want to take to get there. But these were exactly the types of moves that I wanted, especially Josh Richardson. For Rodney Hood and Anthony Simons, that's not a small price to pay, I would say. So, Sydney, I am curious why you made this move, because I do kind of think it makes sense for Philly too.
So it's really interesting. I went back and forth on this because this, in my mind, is similar to the Beal deal in terms of you're trading pieces and youth for a very valuable core player. Not core in terms of like scoring volume, but you know what I mean, just someone to plug in like an important role. And I think at the Bradley Beal level, it's a little harder to justify because that is your core in terms of like your go-to guy, your foundational like franchise centerpiece. I think at this level, it's a little more justifiable. Maybe not, but I think that Philly is still a couple pieces away from taking the next step. I think it's easier to leverage these two pieces into something better. That said, I have serious questions about what Rodney Hood's trade value is. I'm hoping like it. I don't think it's as good as I probably gave credit to. I don't know. It just felt good. I think afterwards, I don't think it was as good as I thought it was in the moment, but I still think it's a good deal.
Oh man,
I think getting Simons is a huge piece, though. Like I don't think Simons is going to be what Richardson is, but I don't think it's unreasonable to think that he's going to be that far from that.
no,
And if that's the case, that's a
that's the
huge
swing
value
piece.
add.
That's the swing piece in this deal. It's like, how good is Simons actually going to be, and is Rodney Hood going to keep this level for the next like 3-4 years? Because the current Rodney Hood is very solid role player for a lot of teams, and the potential of Anthony Simons is questionable. I don't know how high it is. That's the whole deal here. Is how
But
high.
to me, the whole deal was based on Simons. I
Yeah,
think Rodney
I
Hood
agree.
is like value is marginal at best, but you're buying a pretty high stock on Anthony Simons.
Yeah, this deal is
On
basically
good
like,
contracts too. It allows a little bit more cap flexibility as well.
definitely with this deal, you're just plugging in Hood to what Josh Richardson is giving you at a slightly lower level, but betting on Simons recouping that difference. So
That's why I liked it. I don't think it helps you today, but I think it does help you to continue to have long-standing success.
I agree, and I don't think it hurts you too much today either. And then let's go to the other deal. Actually, DJ, any thoughts on this deal?
I think you guys mostly covered it pretty well. I mean, getting Josh Richardson is pretty intriguing for Portland. I love the idea of him playing with both Lillard and McCollum. We've talked before about having kind of three guys who can play those two guard positions. So I think that he is a pretty good fit beside both of them to obviously guard whoever the better offensive player is and let those guys float on someone else.
And then
Would
lastly,
you pull the trigger on that, DJ?
I think that as Philly, I probably wouldn't have. Because Josh has been playing really well for him. I mean, he's shooting the three fairly well. He's getting up quite a few attempts per game. He's giving him some nice scoring. So I think I wouldn't have with hoping that, I guess, is Zaire Smith hurt or just not getting run with Philly? Because he's played like 6 games and he started twice this year. Nope, that was last year. He hasn't even played this year. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, I think he's still hurt, right?
Jeez.
I may be wrong. I don't know. I really don't.
How good would Philly be if they would have hit on some picks with like Zaire Smith and Markelle Fultz? Like they had some pretty high profile swings and misses. Thibault looking like he can give him some stuff, but yeah. So if I'm Philly, I wouldn't have gone that direction. But it's one of those future plays where if Anthony Simons gets there, like you're looking pretty good.
Yep, and
I don't
then
know.
the Knicks deal, Hassan Whiteside and a first, is a package that I wanted to use to be able to lure a team looking for more asset, like a more seller type team. to get, some of their role players that might not be as valuable to them as they are to me. And that's exactly the deal that I was able to pull with the Knicks, getting Marcus Morris, who's shooting 53% from the 3-point line this year. Crazy efficient. He is being asked to do a little bit too much in New York right now. I think setting him into a very defined role with Portland next to Melo and now Josh Richardson is exactly what you want if you're Portland. Taj Gibson is exactly the type of guy you want as a big. I feel like maybe he's going to get overpowered by the, larger bigs in the West. But like I said, the buyout market is open for bigs if you need that. Also, it gives Scal more opportunity to develop. So I'm very happy with this deal. And honestly, the Knicks, what you think? Because I don't really hate it for you either.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like I didn't do as well as I thought I did.
Oh, and the second. You got the second, too.
Yeah, I was about to start with that, actually. Thank you for adding that. Yeah, I mean, what did Marcus Morris do for us this year? The reason I didn't like this deal more than anything was I didn't think it was the right time to hit the panic button, which I don't think this is hitting the panic button, but I also don't think it's not hitting the panic button. I mean, if you're making a deal, this means either one, Fizz isn't happy, two, you don't trust Fizz, the three, I mean, I have no idea what the three is. So I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't enough time to pull the trigger on that, but nobody stepped up otherwise. So yeah,
I don't look. I don't think for me, literally, if I'm New York, the only reason that I might not do this is if I was looking at every other team, and looking at what else I could get. But I think this is the type of value that you can get for a Marcus Morris and Taj Gibson. You're not really going to get too much value. You're not going to win a lot of games this year anyway. You're getting a top 5 protected first, which is probably going to be somewhere between 8 and 16, 17 with the way Portland's playing. Like, that's a large range, but anything could happen. I don't hate it at all for the Knicks.
I have serious concerns about how Hassan Whiteside handles New York.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem, but I mean...
But that's a huge problem. Like, if we're talking about any player besides Hassan Whiteside, I think I'm a lot more okay with this deal.
I get you now. I mean,
that's a factor of the trade that we're not talking about. That is a huge factor.
I fully get you. And yeah, that is an hour.
Because there's only so much to do in Portland compared to New York City.
No, I fully feel it. That's a very valid point. Anyway... DJ, any thoughts before we close out?
Well, I'm disappointed that I didn't get a deal. We were close on a couple.
We were close on a lot.
However, I think you got excited with New York. Marcus Morris and Gibson will do well for you on the front lines, but that first-round pick that you used there, all you needed was that and Little with Bazemore and Whiteside, and you'd have Steven Adams and Gallo in a rotation.
Which is a much better package, I hate to say.
A team of Lillard, McCollum, Richardson, Rodney Hood, Gallo, and Steven Adams, and Scal, Melo coming off the bench, Diallo maybe?
Rodney Hood was gone.
Oh, yeah, Rodney Hood was gone. I got to take that up. So, because what is your rotation for Portland now? Because I think that is Richardson starting at the 3 then?
It's Lillard, CJ, Richardson, probably Melo, and Taj. And then behind that is... So no Simons, right? We got who's our backup point guard? That's my one thing is I don't like Nazir Little is more of a wing. So backup point guard is rough. Who else? Marcus Morris.
It's a little more porous than we thought.
Marcus Morris, Scal, and I guess Tolliver or Hazonia. Like that's kind of Kent Bazemore is still on my team, right? We didn't do that. So
that's true, yeah.
So Kent Bazemore's still on the squad. So yeah, the only thing is the big rotation isn't the best. I did really want Adams, and that's why I said I would have done it. Like we just ran out of time. I would have done it. Because then I would have had also Diallo, and then I would have had Adams, but I wouldn't have had Bazemore and someone else.
Yeah, you wouldn't have Bazemore and probably Nasir Little. You would have lost 2 then.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still like having a piece of upside, right? Like, I still like keeping Nazir. I love that I was able to keep CJ McCollum. I'm not thrilled about the big rotation, but I'm not too upset. I think I'm in a much better spot to really contend than the kind of fake contention that the Blazers are in right now. So yeah, we'll end on that. Thank you guys. This was super fun. And thank you to all who listen at the Bench Mob NBA. Give us your thoughts on the deals that happened. And we'll catch you next time.